Hotep, Namaste. Again, I would like to welcome you all back to another one of my videos. I gotta thank my supporters. I gotta thank my followers on all my social media. That's just been riding with me from the beginning because, as you can see from, it's been a long way, a lot of ups and downs and everything. So today, what we're going to talk about specifically is just the importance of finding your true identity, finding who you really are. And also how to, really, some little few techniques of how to do this or how to get you on the right path and the right direction. Because what I see today, first of all, when people get into spirituality or they're just getting into alternative ways of thinking, a lot of the time, a lot of these people have been broken through life, went through a lot of ups and downs, have went through a lot of hardships. They feel like they're an outsider. They feel like, they don't belong in this time period, so they're trying to grab for anything, and this is the problem because there's a lot of ideologies out here, there's a lot of groups, there's a lot of so-called masters and stuff like that, and they're just leading people in any which way of direction. And I could say the only real reason this happens is because we don't know the true self. Each of us are very unique, and each of us have a specific thing we're supposed to do. Even me doing this right now, it took me a while to understand exactly what I had to do in this life of being a guide and a communicator of certain information, and if you notice, a lot of my videos are not connected around ideology. It's about techniques to how to improve your lifestyle. So it doesn't matter if you're a Christian, Muslim, doesn't matter if you're in the New Age movement, doesn't matter if you're, a Reiki healer, a crystal healer, a yogi, it doesn't matter. All these techniques you can use and you can improve your life, okay? So the main thing, the first thing you can do, is of course meditation, but it's also how you meditate, okay? When you get into this space where you're aware, for all the people that are new to meditation, of course you want to sit in, a quiet area and let your thoughts go, let your body relax, okay? It doesn't matter, you could sit here like this, there's so many ways you could do this. You want to let your mind relax and you want to ask yourself questions when you get into this space. Ask yourself questions like, what excites me, Go through your mind in past times where things excited you or where you did something really well, or something really made you happy. You want to go into the past and just think about these things. And of course, it might not happen right away, but you keep working at it. You keep going into your mind. You keep going into yourself. And sooner or later, these answers will start coming to you. You'll start to see a pattern. Realize the things that you overcame in life as well. Like, these hardships that you went through, but you wind up overcoming them and turning it into something good. So also, you can basically write out a timeline, for the people that maybe not be too good at meditation, or if that's what you feel, write out a timeline of things that you overcame, of things that made you happy. Just write it out. You can turn it into a fun little project where you put pictures, get a long piece of paper or something like that, put some pictures on there and, draw something just to show you, give you a map of your lifetime, Also check the things that people come to you for. What do people come to you for? What kind of advice do they ask you for? Ask people around you, your friendships, what do they notice about you? All these things are going to be connected, and of course, like I said, bringing it back to that spending time with yourself, really knowing your likes and dislikes, really know what gives you drive, what gives you ambition, and what things do not, and what things that make you comfortable, because a lot of times we're following other people's examples. We're all unique. Okay, so just trying these few things and taking the time out, really spending time with yourself and asking the people around you, your close ones, you'll start to get a pattern. You know, so you won't be a victim of a lot of these, you know, it's so many different things that's messing people up. And this is why spirituality gets a bad name, okay? You know, it gets a bad name because, you know, people wind up unhappy or they wind up messed up because we live in the information age and there's an abundance of energy out here. I mean, there's an abundance of information out here. And now, you know, we have YouTube and all these outlets where anybody can pick up a camera and tell you some information, you know, and a lot of people are not properly researching. A lot of people are not going into these ancient texts. Okay, you have to go into the ancient texts, you know, so we can see what's really going on, what they're really saying, because a lot of times somebody get this information, condense it, give it to somebody else, and they take that information, condense it even more, give it to somebody else, and then you have the schemers who are just trying to make things easier so more people will be attracted. Nothing in this life is easy. Okay, you have to put in the work. Nothing is going to come to you like that. Again, I know we live in this age where you can push a button and you can get something from Amazon or something like that, but you have to realize you can't make that, you know, you can't make that soft. You can't make that make you soft. Okay, you have to learn discipline, especially in spirituality. There are no shortcuts, and as far as true success and true living, there are no shortcuts. Okay, so I know usually I drop some, you know, a whole lot of information for you guys, but I just want to bring some inspiration today. And for somebody that might be under one of these ideologies, and they find, and basically it's just like religion again, you know. A lot of people are trying to escape religion, and then they go into another one just masked up. Okay, so if you don't have freedom of thought, if you don't, you know, then you know that you're being confined. All right, so also, before I go, even finding, you know, this is the whole reason for astrology charts and stuff like that, because a lot of people will come to me and say, well, you know, how is this real when people change? You know, how is these, because the stars said so, you know, will I be like that for the rest of my life? And it's no, it's just bringing you awareness of what your natural tendencies are, of things, you know, what things that make you comfortable. If you have a, let's just say you have a problem with stubbornness, you know, when you get in an uncomfortable situation, you might revert back to your stubbornness. But you got the awareness now that you have a stubbornness in a particular place, in a particular planet or house, and now you have awareness so you can change it. Okay, so again, contact me on my website, www.occulthealing.net. Check out my services and products section. Follow you know, Out of the Box Thinking, that's also connected to my website. Also, I will have more music for you guys. Any short questions, hit my email up, occulthealing22@gmail.com. We can set up a consultation. We can set up, you know, a Google Hangout or a Skype session, because I'm really trying to, you know, basically just uplift the masses, you know. So because there's a lot of stuff going on in the spiritual community, and I see it all the time. So I'm gonna keep this video short. Again, thank you for taking time out of your busy schedules to hear this message. I will leave you on Namaste, Hotep, and Ashe. One love.